What is crackling on everyone? It is Vinrosly coming back at you with another Persona 5X video, and in today's video we're going to take a look at what's new in version 2.3. So I'll start with the events. So pretty much the second phase of the main story has come out, so there is a good chunk of stuff to do there, which I love that. It appears we're gonna get a free Cucullin. Actually, I guess we're getting a free maxed out Cucullin. That's quite nice. Yeah, maxed out. Very nice. All this other stuff is in here too. Get some more of those dry metals for whatever daggers you guys are trying to build up right now. This is that event for the Cucullin. Get some gecko coins too, which is nice. I don't know how many, but you're getting some, so not too bad. Login bonus, we got 7, as per usual. And our boy Messa is out now. Oh, that's interesting. So you know how Summer Tomoko and Summer Motoha had their little like stages, right? I guess Messa's having them too, but they're tying it to the character trial instead. And there is a shop, and while I'm here in this shop, I will tell you guys, every time there's a Thieves' Secret thing like this, always go and grab these. It just makes... you get to pick first off. There's that. You don't have to just go in randomly and be like, oh, I hope I get it out of the dungeon. No, you just get it. So obviously all this other stuff's nice, but mainly I'd say probably go for the Revelation card XP and then the Revelation cards themselves. I didn't realize that until recently myself, so I figure I might as well tell you guys about it. Summer Tomoko's still here, as is Minami. I wouldn't recommend going on Minami. She should be going to standard pretty soon. And let's go take a look at the summons. So this is something different. So the targeted one, it says, I'll show the mouse right here. So every 110 pulls, you are guaranteed to get this character on the banner screen specifically. So every new character from now on should have this, and something they did is apparently, let me see if I can find like, yeah, the rates. So pretty much if you get a 5-star, it's just him. It's guaranteed to be him. The problem that used to be is that you could get them before, but the rates were lowered on this one, like in general, so your chances of pulling them before pity is just was not as big. But they upped the rates for the 5-stars to being standard with the 50-50 one. So if you're only wanting one copy, in this case Messa kind of, from what I understand, wants at least A1, maybe A2. But if you only want the one copy, 110 by far is your best, because you either get it before 110 or at 110. The only negative is that yes, it does take more summons to get there in general. However, if you want to just minimize, like, okay, let's just say you're like a Mega Whale, right? You want to A6 this guy. Technically speaking, what it used to be best is you go to the chance one with the 50-50, and then you just win your 50-50 more often than not, and it would be better. But now that the rates are the same, it's just way better. Now, people are doing like simulations and whatnot, and apparently it's just straight up better in like every single situation to just go for the targeted one now, because like if you get a 5-star, it's gonna be him. So that's very interesting. And then another thing about this is that every 165 pulls, it's kind of a weird number, 165, but you know, you get a random, you get like a ticket basically. And this will be updated, it's not just going to be these 5 forever, but you basically get a random one of these 5. So like, I don't know, let's just say you want to build your An still, she's not maxed out, and you just get a free one. Obviously it's randomized, just like a 50-50 loss, but there's no 50-50 loss in this one. You just get the character. So I think this is honestly really nice. As per usual, you got like the weapons and all that. I'm starting to save up some base pulls for when Minami goes into the standard banner, since I have all the characters in standard now. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with Summer Tomoko. I do kind of want to make a guide on her. I haven't really done too much with it yet. I am trying to figure out how I want to make it better. I liked what I did with the Joker guide, but you know, I think I can get better. So this might take a little bit. Hopefully I can have it out sooner than later though, so you know, you guys can actually like summon for her if you want her. Off rip though, she is a limited support or a limited healer, so while I would say generally speaking Minami is better, like at A0, it is nice to have her if you don't happen to have a 5-star healer, so there's that to consider. She won't go standard ever, so you know. Also, if you are a Mega Haru fan, I would highly recommend going for her. She's just going to be really, really good for her. But if you're not, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. I suppose I should show what we got out of the mail real quick. So we get 600 Metajoules, and then I guess this is just all your Sea of Soul stuff. So there's some nice stuff there too. And I'm not sure what this key is. Unlock past thieves, secrets you did not participate in. Oh, that's nice. So if you didn't, like, let's say you didn't get to finish Summer Tomoko's one, then you can reattempt it, it looks like, which I think is quite nice. You know, let's actually grab this and see what it is exactly that it does. Because it should just straight up unlock one of them. Let's see if I can find it. Trying to find it. Alas, I don't think I can right now. Maybe it's another. I don't think we're gonna find it. Well, that's what it should do though. Alright, so let's go back to the summons now, and I will say, I myself am not a huge Messa fan. However, as you guys can see, I'm at 60 out of 80 for my pull, and the next character coming is Futaba, so like obviously if you don't have enough to get Futaba, I would say skip him. I might actually drop a little bit of bread on Futaba anyway. There's also seeming to be a good amount of pulls coming, so I mean I think I'll be able to get Futaba anyway. I'm also on my 50-50, so there's that. So I wouldn't mind like quote-unquote losing it to get like another copy of the standard units, but I figure it's a new update. I think he's a cool character, I just don't like how he needs investment. But if we get him, we can pull him. Oh yeah, obviously if we get him, we pull him, duh. But if we get him, I will build him, and then I can tell you guys whether or not it's actually worth getting him at A0 or not. But this is between us and the gacha, so the gacha will speak for us, whether or not that happens. If it doesn't happen, like I said, I'm fine, I'll just use it on Futaba. But if it does, then it does. That is not right, okay. Well, that's not really an S, but whatever. No. Okay, so again, I myself, I'm not mega interested in pulling for him, so I'm going to stop here. But just do note now that, generally speaking, there's no reason not to go for the targeted one now, so I would highly recommend doing that. Like I said, I only did that because I'm on my 50-50 and I will be, but honestly, once I get my... Honestly, I've lost a good chunk of 50-50s recently. I didn't really care because like the characters that they were for, it's like I would have been fine with leaving the bandage without them. One of them was Tomoko, but I got her the very next multi, so it didn't really matter. But I've lost a good chunk of them recently, so I think I might start going on the 110. But it generally speaking, 110 is way better than just the chance one. And this should be given these banners were up before the game went down for maintenance, so these don't have it, but every banner from now on should have this as an option, unless it's like a special type of banner, which those will happen, but we're not there yet, so I won't talk about them. But I believe that is all that we have to show. Oh, never mind, that's not all we have to show at all. So they updated the Cognition shop. You can get retrograde cards to reset your Revelation cards now, which is really nice to have. I don't think most of us are gonna go for that because, oops, oh no, more summon materials, oof, but it's an option. And if you're starting to get a little, maybe not sweatier, but I'm sure you guys saw my Vicissitude Ink video. If you haven't, please go check that out. I think it has some useful information in there, but this lets you basically customize a new Revelation card that it'll pop out for free, and then quite nice it is. And I believe that's all we have. Oh, I believe this is new and it just came out. So this, wish it would let us see what it is. There, okay, so increases attack by 28% after inflicting a status ailment on a foe, decrease the foe's ailment resistance by 12%, defense by 5%, and the user's attack gets increased by 10% for 3 turns. This effect can stack up to twice, and stacks are spent separately. With one stack, increase target's physical damage taken by 14% for 3 turns. So, from what I understand, this is just straight up for Messa, so if you don't have him, I don't really see a reason for you guys to grab this. At least right now. We will be getting a good chunk of daggers in the future, and honestly, this is really nice for Messa, but if you don't have him and you don't really, I will say he's not really a must summon. He's fucking cool, right? He's freaking sick. I think he's a cool character. But like, is he really necessary? I'd say no. There's also the option of just using Ryuji with, you know, more copies. Like, I think it's a good idea for you to get more Arcanine shards or Glimmer, but if you have Messa, I would say pick this up. If you don't have him or don't care to pull for him, then don't. But I believe this is everything that they updated for the shop, which is quite nice. And then I guess we will end with a quick trial on how Messa looks in battle. Now, I don't have much of a clue on how this guy works, so we're gonna figure this out together. I know that he is a damage over time unit. At low investment and at high investment, he becomes a physical attacker. Why is my game tweaking? I do not know. I really need to get a new freaking SSE so I can put this on there, man. Holy moly. Okay, so we'll just read it as it says. Kira, which is, you know, Messa, specializes in single target physical attacks. During battle, he can switch between 2 different attack modes by using Nightfall to use different skills. In Doctor mode, Kira's skills will inflict bleed on targets, causing a fixed amount of damage over time. It's especially effective against enemies with high HP, so it's like percentage damage, so it's nice against bosses. It can be. Usually it is. This is basically what he's going to be at low investment, assuming they didn't change that much. I didn't sift through the live stream, so I don't remember or know exactly what they changed. I know he got buffed, I just don't know how much he got buffed. It seems like you still want to at least have A1 for him, so just keep that in mind. And then his second mode, in Ripper mode, he deals bonus physical damage based on the number of bleed stacks the enemy has. So basically, from what I understand, you start in the Doctor mode and you just slap some bleeds on him, and then once you get like a good amount, I'm sure there's a number you're supposed to hit of bleeds on them, and then you just use the bleeds on, you basically like redeem the stacks, and then it takes them away, and then you get extra damage off that. I guess what we'll do is we'll just buff Messa right here. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie and say he doesn't look cool. Like, he looks cool here, right? I myself don't see a ton of reason to pull for him though, as I'd rather buff up my Ryuji. I like Ryuji more as a character, but this guy is cool. So we'll just give him all the buffs. I low-key have not played Sumi at all. He is not one I've used. This is probably not going to be optimal, but we'll just do this. Alright, so now it's Messa's turn. Let's take a look at what he does. Okay, so let's start with the first skill. Does physical damage, and it does 4 hits, and it inflicts bleed 1 time. Moonlit Scalpel. Crimson Operation skill 2. Deal physical damage to 1 foe, and it hits twice. Also activate bleed damage 1 time, and reset target's bleed turn duration. So I guess you use this to like refresh the bleed stacks, which is kind of cool. And then this third one, Nightfall, switches him to his Ripper mode, and it changes these 2 skills to do other things. The first 2 skills, it changes these. Okay, so she needs to have 7+ bleed for this to happen, got it. When he uses skills in this mode, and he inflicts 1 more rending for every 3 bleed that's on a target. And then what rending does is it deals physical damage. So, I suppose we start with S1. Okay, this guy is probably tanky. Okay, so he hits... Interesting. So it appears for every time he hits the enemy, they get a bleed stack. That's what it seems like, because he's got 5. Again, I don't want to deal any damage to them, so let's do this. It also looks like we can't knock this the Karabia down. Yeah, that's probably a good thing. Let's see what the highlight does. Switch to Doctor mode and inflicts 5 bleed on foe. Or immediately switch to Ripper mode and deal physical damage to target. Can't activate rending. Okay, so we'll do this so we don't have to do another turn of stacking the bleeds, but let's see what it looks like. It's probably gonna look sick. He has such a cool design, I like him. Okay, yeah, that's quite cool, huh? Yeah. So now this guy has 10 stacks. Let's do something random on him. I don't know how to play him, so just do it random. Okay, I guess he probably gets follow-ups based off of his thing. Okay, so now we switch to Ripper. That's a cool stance. I mess with that. Alright, let's see what these 2 do. Okay, so now his first skill does physical damage and removes 2 bleed, but it can also activate the rending. And then second skill increases damage from this skill and rending 2% for every 1 bleed on the target, then removes all bleed from the target. Okay, so I suppose... Yeah. I wanna say... I could be wrong. Again, I've never freaking played with this guy at all before, but I wanna say you probably wanna start with the first skill, so it removes 2 bleed. And then you can activate rending, and then you do skill 2. I could be wrong, but... We'll go with skill 2. He's probably not gonna live much longer. Yeah, I mean, he's cool. I'm not gonna deny that. I just don't know if he's really worth pulling with Futaba on the horizon. I'm sure, I mean, obviously, the other servers didn't know this at the time, but like, Futaba is like basically a must pull. She's that good. So, again, I would say your best thing is probably to just skip him and hold out for Futaba. I myself, like, yes, he looks really cool, but I don't really want to invest in him right now, especially because I want multiple copies of Futaba, so I'm not going to be doing that. But I'm not going to lie to you and say he's not cool. If you like him and you think that you want to make him one of your mains, go for it, man, absolutely. Go for it. I say it's well worth it, but you just gotta dump a little investment on him to make him better. Like, I myself, I think I'd rather build my Ryuji because he's already got a good chunk of investment. Like, he's already A1. I mean, obviously, higher awareness at Ryuji will be, the better he'll be than Mesa at a low investment, but that just makes sense. But yeah, I mean, pretty much just moral of the story, if you maybe finish out your 50-50 roll or your guarantee for the chance, and then just start rolling on the 110, man. It's just so much better. It's weird, honestly. Kind of makes the 50-50 like irrelevant. Like, unless, I guess the thing is though, is like unless you win like maybe 3 out of 4 50-50s, then maybe this would be better because you're technically saving 30 pulls. That's also the thing. It's just very like luck based, right? If you're not, I guess the main thing, if you're not lucky, just go for 110, man. Yes, it costs a little more, but you're guaranteed the character. Most of the characters in this game are gonna be good, just base kit. So like, there are characters like Mesa who maybe want you to have a little more investment, but that's not a lot of characters. Most of them are just gonna be out of the gate good at A0. Then you just get like them and their weapon, and they'll be like set for quite a while. But yeah, with that, I will say that this video is going to come to a close, and I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will keep bringing you guys some more Persona 5X stuff very soon. Laters.